Today's video is going to be how we bid on an online auction and it went horribly wrong. We've been using online auctions to source our items for eBay reselling for, I don't know, about 4 months now, and we do really like having that as an option for sourcing. 95% of the time, these work out really well for us. We'll pick up things and pay $1 for them and sell them for $150, on eBay. So I think it is a great resource for resellers and for collectors, which we fall into both of those categories. But this particular online auction went horribly wrong for us. We sell a lot of villaging accessories and buildings, both Christmas and Halloween. And so we saw that there was an auction, an online auction, and we decided to go ahead and bid on, I think it was like 13 villaging pieces, mostly houses, but some accessories as well, like, the bottle brush, trees, and things like that. So I was looking through them, and the outside of the boxes looked like they showed a bit of age to them. There was like some dark spots. I mean, it did look pretty superficial. It looked like, it was just from storage, just kind of like discoloration over time. The person running the auction did not have the item opened for us to see, and it was listed as excellent condition. So it did raise a red flag for me. I was like, should we really bid on this? Like, they say it's in excellent condition, which to me means nothing broken, nothing missing, right? But the box on the outside did look slightly discolored. But I was like, well, it's just the box. Like, I'm sure that if they're saying excellent condition and they're not showing us the contents of the inside, they wouldn't be lying to us about the condition of it. Like, that would be a pretty bold decision on a seller's part. Well, that's exactly what they did. And we, found that out the hard way. So we bid on these 13 villaging pieces. We won them. We went to the pickup, and it was an absolute mess. And the ones that we've gone to, they always have the items put aside, like either, they're on a shelf and you have to bring your own, boxes and bubble wrap, or they'll actually have it all packed up for you in a bag and you can just take it out. Well, we got to this one and things were all over the place. Like, one thing was upstairs. There were, all the villaging pieces that we won. They were mixed in with, like, I would say over 100 other villaging pieces. The person, didn't know where anything was. I was basically digging around trying to find things. So I wasn't really getting a very good feeling from it. So we get them home, and we had a lot of things going on. So it took me 2 days to actually get to opening them all up and looking at them. And I was going to sit down and start listing them. So I opened the first one up, and it's got all this snow that you use for villaging. It was like encased all over the building. There were some stains on the building from just age. I cleaned that off, and then I looked for the plug with the light, because it was a lighted building piece, and it wasn't there. So that was the first thing I saw. And then I went through each subsequent piece, and there were either missing items or things were broken on the actual buildings. And I did clean them all up just to kind of assess. I made a list of everything that was missing, and I was like, what are we going to do? And, I was like, this is just not okay. We've sold plenty of very rare Halloween villaging pieces that have some condition issues, and people buy them because they're really hard to get your hands on. So I'm not opposed to buying something that has some issues, but I want the seller to have fully disclose what the condition is, and in this case they completely lied to us. So there's some lessons in this that I hope will be helpful to you when you, if and when you use online auctions. I wasn't totally sure how online auctions are structured in terms of like who's accountable. So I went on Auction Ninja. This person was selling under this larger estate sale on Auction Ninja. I called the large estate sale company that this woman was selling under, and I explained that I bought, 13 villaging pieces and 9 of them were broken, and they had listed it as excellent condition. Well, she proceeded to tell me that basically I was in the wrong and that they can say whatever they want about them and that, they should be honest, but basically I'm buying anything I buy on there as is, which was pretty surprising to me. Now, I knew I was taking a risk by buying a box that the seller didn't actually open so I could see the item. Like, that's where I believe that I went wrong for myself in terms of the business and making a good decision about buying something. I, was on the phone with the woman. She said that I was in the wrong, that there's no way for me to get my money back unless I were to contact the seller. I wanted to resolve it, between us and not resort to giving an online review. I thought if they can resolve this, if they can give us our money back for the items, I will not review them. I won't leave a positive, I won't leave a negative review. So I had told her that. And so I was like, what can be done? She misrepresented the condition of the items. We bought them believing that it was in excellent condition. We get them home and they're broken. And she was like, you are responsible for opening up the item at the estate sale pickup and reviewing the condition before you take those items off of the property. And if there's an issue with them, then we will make sure that you get your money back. But if you leave with them, you will not. And then she proceeded to contradict herself and say that you could take them off the property, take them home for 24 hours, review them, and if they are not as they were listed, you can request a refund. So I don't know. I was very confused. I was getting mixed messages about the whole thing. And she was like, why did you wait 2 days? I mean, how do I know that you didn't go home and just like smash them? And I was like, because why would I do that? She was very, very difficult to communicate with. And she, at a certain point, became very rude with me. And I was just like, I guess what I'm going to have to do is contact the person who ran the estate sale. It seems like there's nothing that you can do about it because you're saying once I leave with the item, it's mine regardless of the condition. And I said, if this doesn't get resolved, I will write a review, an honest review about the experience that I had, and then let the person reading it, decide what they think about it, right? And she said to me, so you're going to review somebody negatively because of something wrong that you did. And so I thought I was like, okay, I'm done with this conversation. I'm going to move on. I called the woman who was running the estate sale, said I bought the 13 villaging pieces. 9 were broken or missing items. And, I don't want to review you publicly. Can we resolve this in a way that works for both of us and acknowledges that we bought something that you misrepresented? We asked for our money back. She agreed. She said, as soon as I see them, I'll return your money. I just want to make sure that the family whose these items are, who I'm working for, knows that I'm not like doing anything, illegal or wrong, that I'm returning your money and you've returned the items. Melissa and I, run out there and put the items in bags and put them on the front porch. We take a picture of them. I text it to her and say, these are the items that were broken. As we agreed, you're going to, refund me $125. Here's my Zelle, information for you to, send me that money. And I heard nothing. I heard absolutely nothing. Then I give a week. I give a week because I'm like, okay, maybe she's busy. Give her the benefit of the doubt. She said she was going to refund the money. And then I text her a week later and she said, I haven't been able to get down there. So I'm sorry for the delay. I'll be there in another week. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I'll give her another week. At least if I had kept the items, I wouldn't have been out as much money, right? Like, I could have still sold those buildings as is and pointed out the condition issues and the missing items. But now I'm out the $125 plus the 9 items I put on that front porch because, I left them there and she decided not to give me the money back. So it was a very frustrating experience. I decided to let it go because I texted her numerous times and I just felt like it was not what I wanted to spend my energy on. There was really nothing I could do. The larger estate sale company didn't protect my purchase. She wasn't being honest. And so I just felt like those things were out of my control and I had to just move on and cut my losses and save my energy for better things. What I have learned from this process, and I think that ultimately in life, yes, things happen that are outside of our control and that are challenging, but it's not going to affect, where I source. Like I love using Auction Ninja and other like online estate sale platforms. I've really almost always had great experiences and the condition condition always matches what people say they are. So I will never buy an item that's in a box that they don't open up and show it to me, right? So I can look at it online. Also, they said excellent condition. And the box didn't look like it was in excellent condition. It did raise a red flag for me, as I mentioned. So I think listening to my intuition, listening to that, and also really questioning, like, why am I buying these things if I can't see them? I will never do that again. I will never take that risk because it's not just the money, but it's also the time and energy involved in dealing with these kinds of things. And I just don't want to have that kind of experience with this business. And I feel like that is in my control to a point. I think the most important thing that I learned in this process is when I go and I pick up auction items from an online auction that I've won, I'm going to look things over. Sometimes you get to them and it's kind of chaotic. There's a lot of people around, but I'm going to take I'm going to take the time I need. I'm going to take the time I need and I'm going to look them over and make sure that the condition they listed it in is what I'm actually getting. I knew that I wasn't going to get anywhere with the people that I was trying to work this out with. And ultimately I did leave a review and I simply explained the experience and that I bought things, they were listed in excellent condition, but they were broken, things were missing. The seller agreed to give me my money back and then I dropped those items off and then she completely ghosted me. And so I was out the money and I was also out the items. We had mentioned it a couple videos ago and some of you had posted in the comments below, wondering what some of the details were from it. So I thought that it would be good, make this video and explain what happened. A lot works out, but sometimes things don't. All right, well, I hope you found this video useful. If you source through online auctions, maybe you've learned some of these things already. Maybe there's a few new things in here, but yeah, I hope it was useful. useful. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and also hit that like button. And we look forward to bringing you the next video, which is going to be much more exciting. I'm sure it'll be, you know, a sourcing or a what sold. So we'll see you next time.